it's been such a dope experience. Their fans are so just connected to every part of it. I am the most reliable, unpredictable homie. That's not what everyone wasn't excited about that record. Kaleidoscope Dream was a chance. I made that record for me. That's where I was at.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? I'm Deputy Director of R&B Hip Hop, Mr. Carl Lamar, and welcome to Billboard News and Conversation. We got a Grammy Award winner, R&B heavyweight, Mr. Miguel. My brother, how you feeling, man?
I'm all right, man. How you doing?
Woo! It's a blessed day. It is a blessed day because we're gonna do something special here. One of your albums has a special anniversary this year. All I Want Is You. 15. What does that number mean to you? Because that's a whole 9th grade album I was telling you before.
It's a journey. You know, you think about, how much time it took to get that album out.
Right.
What it took to get there, just in terms of cycles and growth and challenges and failures and learning experiences, and then to kind of have all of the blessings in between that point and this point in my career it's beautiful. It's a trip.
Man, walk us back to when you met, of course, the big homie record exec extraordinaire, Mark Pitts.
Yeah.
Because you played him some records, which I saw was originally meant for Usher, and then he was like, we gonna keep this, we gonna keep Miguel, we gonna build.
Facts.
Talk about that.
At the time, there wasn't a lot of diversity and I mean sonic diversity in what was coming from R&B music specifically. I think we had shifted so deeply into hip hop. Really, Usher was one of the only ones that was just a titan, not just in R&B, but like as a pop superstar. And he was the only one really at the forefront. I was young, still developing. We're always developing. I love that quote Lauryn Hill saying, if it's not growing, it's dead.
Facts.
So we're always striving to grow, but I had a long way to go before I got to all the songs that were on All I Want Is You, let alone Kaleidoscope Dream. I was really making my chops as a writer.
Right.
And Sure Thing was one of those songs that Mark Pitts heard. He did submit it. He believed in the song, and it just didn't make the cut. He also could see where the game needed to go and the opportunity that there was. So being of Black and Mexican descent, being that I was left of center, Usher was making his stride in the game. There was some space. And, with a lot of his time and effort, some legal fisticuffs and just real diligence there, we were able to drop All I Want Is You.
What I think is so interesting, man, is the fact that you said, though the record, Usher didn't cut it, for any songwriter that would be deflating. At any moment, was that deflating for you, or was it a quick turn of like, okay, now this is my record, I can make it my record, and the confidence just, I guess, was regained, knowing that you had ownership of the record again?
Now, what I would say is, what we need is like we don't need a yes from everyone. It's just a key, like one key affirmation can set off a chain reaction and a domino effect that gives you the momentum. I think your intention and your persistence prepares you for. It's like you show up every day to the thing regardless of what you're getting out of it, because it's something that you need to express. The rest is timing and circumstance, all just kind of coming to the head, and your preparation being there for it to really manifest. I think those are the seeds that we plant every day in and day out. Showing up when you're tired, or when you're not inspired, or when you're hurt, or when you're broken, when you feel faithless, or when you feel, at your most powerful. All of those moments and everything in between, fortunately, that was kind of my moment where all of the time and effort and the preparation sort of really let in. So it was one of those things that I accepted with a lot of because it was my song.
Right.
It was coming from a very personal place.
Songwriters have such an attachment to their records, so when you guys gotta let that one go, knowing that's the money record too, it's tough.
I mean, I've been wrong about other songs and other records.
What I appreciated most very early on is how you and Cole linked up so early on in the phases of your careers to do All I Want Is You. And then to see the evolution with Come Through and Chill, Power Trip. Why do you think the synergy between you guys was so strong that first record and it was able to carry through multiple eras?
When the intention is coming from the same
Y'all were just simpatico.
place. Yeah. And I come from underground hip hop. Like, that is a big part of my development, my career, even professionally. You know, a lot of that started with my education and my love for hip hop. Deep, you know what I mean? And like true lyricism. Those things are what I think informed how easy it was for Cole and I to just make music. And I think with the grace of, you know, everything. And I look forward to many more, you know, many more, because he's not going anywhere. And I'm not going anywhere.
Listen, I always said y'all had an EP waiting, you know, that's an easy 5-6 records to put together. You know, y'all went 3 for 3. Y'all could go 6 to 6.
Yeah. We've definitely talked about going back and forth on production and like singing and. We talked about some fun concepts. So that just feels like timing.
Natural.
Timing, yeah.
You know what I think is natural too, man? Obviously, we talked about it, you being a savant when it comes to songwriting. When you look at yourself then at 25, what do you think was the most underrated aspect of your songwriting ability, and what song off that debut album showcased that?
I feel like My Peace is one of those ones. Untouchable, Uncrushable, which is a Biggie reference. That was a homage, you know. As a lyricist, that's one of my favorite MCs of all time.
Yeah.
Always will be. I think people just, it's the last song, and you know, maybe people didn't catch it, but I always thought that song was one of those ones. And if there's a second one, I would say a lot of my fans would probably, as a songwriter, be like, oh, but Vixen is kind of like, it wasn't a single, but it's kind of lived on to be a one.
One of those ones, man.
Yeah.
And what I enjoyed was seeing like the re-emergence of Sure Thing, which ended up blooming into the top 20 just 2 years ago. How did it feel seeing the newer generation being able to soak in and appreciate that classic?
I mean, I believe in signs, you know. I believe in signs, and for whatever reason, all of those variables, all of the things didn't come together for Sure Thing in the time. I mean, that song, I wrote that song at like 18, 19. The time flies, so I don't, you know, without dating myself, we are talking about, you know, how long these records have been out. I wrote the song years before Mark heard it. I mean, it took years for the song to be released.
Right.
So there's a good 6+ years, something like that, before writing the song and it actually, anyone hearing it. I mean, even hearing it, the game was so different, which is kind of crazy, because even now, I feel like a lot of us get pigeonholed, you know what I mean? It's like, only now SZA's gonna be, you know, her songs are gonna go straight pop. But there was a time where there was no way they're gonna put any artist of color in a pop category, and that's just what it is. You know what it is. You know, Sure Thing went #1 on R&B. It never got pushed to go anywhere else. So it's really my core fans, the ones that have always been with me, that gave me my flowers and gave the music a place to be and exist. I'm so grateful for that. Like, fast forward, you get to you know, last maybe 2 years ago, maybe I think it is now, new fans, younger fans discovering the music. It's a testament to the purpose of why I do this excuse me.
I feel like I'm glad you say that, because I remember the running conversation like when Adorn came out. You were like, this is gonna be the quintessential cookout BBQ, and I know you heard that too.
I love that.
Yeah, they're like, this is, and it has followed since then, over 10+ years.
It's a blessing to see the electric slide on.
You got the electric slide, and you got Adorn come through. That's a crazy combo right there. If All I Want Is You was released today, do you think it would have fared differently in terms of like commercially?
I mean, who's to say?
Yeah, because I remember that was a big thing where like, yo, this guy has a sleeper album. Why is he not getting the push that he deserves back then?
I mean, it's a trip. I think all things in their time. You know, Sure Thing is a testament to that.
Yeah.
I find it's important to focus on what can be done, because I would drive myself crazy on the what could have or what I felt should have. When in actuality, the could have, should have may have prepared me for what will.
Right.
I stand here now like, you know, as a human being with so much more resilience. The worth or the value of what I get to do is different. You know, it's no longer in the hands of the commercial success of said song, you know? It's a lot more footed and firmly planted in the soil, you know? So that's the best thing we could do, is stay 10 toes and just stay focused.
Yeah.
Still the best are doing that.
Yeah.
You know, they just stay 10 toes down and stay focused and continue. So that's what my next 10 years is looking like. It's like just exponential output, because I guess I'm less tied to the what could have or should have.
And I love that. And just from a present day standpoint, always time. When I listen to that record and then I put it side by side, let's say like with a Sure Thing, I love the contrast, because obviously it speaks to, you know, your growth and evolution as a songwriter, but the subject matter, you're looking at Sure Thing, I got a Sure Thing here, and then always time is like, damn, I didn't appreciate the Sure Thing I had. Unintentionally, I don't know if you realize that, if you connected the dots.
I mean, that's life.
Yeah.
That's real life, like bookends.
Yeah.
You know, of a slice of life.
Right. I remember a couple years ago when you did your performance, and that's when you were suspended, and some of your fans were unsure of the direction you were going in. Fast forward to today, where are you taking your fans who may have questioned at that time the direction?
Like, I'm gonna say this, like, I am the most reliable, unpredictable homie.
There we go.
I am deep into a lot of conspiracy theory. Like, I follow, like, I listen to metal music, and I grew up in a punk city, a punk haven. Punk music is a deep part of my upbringing. My father is Mexican, so I love all of the traditional things that I got to hear growing up, but he also loved black women, obviously, and so I got to listen to all the great soul music in his car when we
That's
took
the both
rides.
worlds, yeah.
Where I take my fans will be about the truths that I feel I'm finally comfortable to just share with you, because maybe I felt it was too weird, you know, and now I'm at the point in my life where I'm like, look, the weirder I can show you I am, or the things that I think are weird, maybe we find that those are the things that make us even closer, or
find that middle ground.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think I will continue to surprise my audience.
I think you're at a place where you've created such a catalog that you, one, don't need to explain shit to anybody.
Fair.
But two, you've made such great music that if you're willing to take certain chances, we gotta trust you to take those chances.
Fair.
You know, everybody's entitled to have that 1-2 album where it's like, yo, this is for me.
Yeah.
I gave y'all what y'all wanted. Kaleidoscope gave y'all that classic. Sit with it.
No. Let me tell you this though, too. Like, sometimes, I mean, a lot of times, that's not what everyone wasn't excited about that record. Kaleidoscope Dream was a chance. I made that record for me. That's where I was at, and that's what I wanted to make. It wasn't like R&B sounded like that, or that was what was happening commercially, or anyone else was making music like that. That was literally me being myself in that moment, and we did enough of telling the story to give it the base where people could go, oh, I can relate to that, I can relate to that, I can relate to that. We were able to like roll that into into momentum, and crowd psychology is a real thing. It's funny you bring up Kaleidoscope Dream. It was kind of the perfect balance of a lot of momentum, you know, expectation, timing, narrative. Yeah. These are all things that have nothing to do with the music, because we won't talk about the lead up. Right. That I remember like day to day that I couldn't get the label to really get behind. I had to go outside the label. I had to go do my own thing, build the momentum myself. And then it kicked in, you know? Yeah. So I say all that to say, to kind of go back to this thing, especially for all of the incredible talent out there, you know, whether they're established or up and coming, to just remember like, this shit is like, it's not about a single song. It's not about a single moment. It's about like momentum. Yeah. It's about alignment. It's about preparation. It's about patience, and more will come, as long as we continue. So
obviously you mentioned your Mexican roots,
yeah.
Your contributions to Coco.
Remember me, though I have to travel far. Remember me.
Obviously you dropped the Spanish language EP. Can we get a little bit of more Spanish on the new album? Are you flirting with it a little bit more, or?
No, I'm not flirting. I'm excited to really to have been exploring how to really make my own way, incorporating all of my influences from my upbringing into the music and figuring out ways to evolve. My point of view as an artist and, being mixed the way that I am, figuring out the way to kind of combine them in my own unique way has been
fun.
Yeah, making my own salsa.
Yeah, that's hard. That's hard.
Yeah.
Like, Friday, he just dropped his album. I remember his manager hit me.
Congrats to Friday, too.
So we're Haitian.
Yeah.
And he's like, yo, we decided to mix R&B with compa.
Hard.
And when I heard it, I was like, yo,
you're like, oh,
in the crib doing my little, by myself. But we was still rocking though.
That's it.
So I love that you're saying you're exploring different sounds to make it a fusion of what you grew up on and what you love. That's hard. Yeah.
Going again, just back to that, not trying to cast a wide net.
Right.
Just trying to go you know what? I happen to be this unique mix of circumstances, cultural influences, community. I got all of this sabor. This is it's a very unique blend.
Yeah.
Why would I try and make some other sauce?
Right.
The next iteration of my artistry is so firmly rooted there. And I'm making my own salsa. This is
I can't wait for the tour.
Yeah.
I could already feel it. I'm getting goosebumps right now.
Yeah.
New record with J-Hope. I saw the BTS fans go crazy.
Yeah.
Talk about that experience. How was it working?
When there's nothing left but diamond necklace on you, girl. I just wanna love it like that.
It's been such a dope experience, eye-opening. Their fans are so just connected to every part of it. And of course, I'm coming from the Siberia of professional artistry right now.
Yeah.
I've just been in my own world.
Yeah.
Cultivating and testing the sauce. So I'm coming into it and they're all ready. It's a nice pick me up when you're kind of starting at zero.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, what's out there? And they just give the love. It's beautiful. So shout out to all the J-Hope's fans. We love you guys. I'm so excited about this song. It's a top.
Sweet Dreams. Only fire.
Sweet Dreams.
You came up at a time where the males in R&B was hyper competitive.
Right. Yeah.
Whether you got Usher, Chris, Neo, you can name it. Now roles kind of reversed, where the women are in the driver's seat.
So beautiful.
Beautiful to see. Now, what do you think it will take for our male counterparts to regain some momentum?
I don't know that it's that anything lost momentum. I think we gravitate to what we need in the time, and I mean, come on, this has been a male-dominated genre. I think it's that time, man. I just think it's that time. I also believe there's space for everybody.
Yeah.
There's space for everyone. As long as everyone's in their lane. And that's the one where I think about how important it is to stress this for the next generation of incredible artists that I think kind of understand that now because everything is native and they're seeing how important it is to key in on who they are and what their point of view is without the influence of needing to cast a wide net the way that we were sort of, taught to love seeing all the women in R&B music and across all genres just really tap in, lock into this opportunity and just flourish because that's we need that.
I love that. What is your favorite Billboard moment, if you have one?
Favorite Billboard moment, period?
Yeah.
You know what? Actually, my favorite Billboard moment is Sure Thing going #1.
Hey!
That's it. I'm gonna get,
You remember where you were at mentally?
Honestly, I've been in life mode, and trying to absorb as much as I can to pour it into the music. I was more just trying to learn. I was in learn mode, you know, and let me look at the science. Let me look at how something like this can happen. And even now it's different, you know, it's a different game. When that started, that was 2 years ago, and it took a good 6-9 months for it to really like pop. But it was such a learning experience, and it taught me how important, again, just staying true to the music. It just reinforced that. Here we are, like it was a whole, I don't know, nearly a decade, if not more, you know, since the song, and have been released. So yeah, that's my favorite Billboard moment. First #1. Yeah.
Poetic.
Yeah, it's poetic. Shout out to everyone who made that song.
Yeah.
Massive. Love you guys. Thank you.
And shout out to the artist himself, my brother Miguel. Thank you so much.